European countries start to realize that they need to improve tax revenues and improve the administration, collection and enforcement of taxation. This is happening now in Europe and especially in Italy. So let's listen to those who know more about it. Today, I suggest that we talk about the special tax regimes that are happening in Europe, especially the Italian regime. So, could you please tell me what kind of considerations should be taken before moving into another country?
Well, taxation and immigration issues are currently a hot topic for high-net-worth individuals. In fact, issues such as pension planning, wealth taxation, and income taxation are always on today's agenda. In fact, domestic and legal tax provisions vary significantly from country to country, and therefore it is important to know what options to consider. For instance, UK and Switzerland are known as preferred residence locations as they offer excellent infrastructures, high standard of living, and also attractive taxation regimes. However, nowadays, we are clearly watching a trend change, as many other jurisdictions offer attractive taxation regimes, such as Italy, Portugal, or Malta, for example.
Okay, but what are the requirements and benefits in this Italian regime, for example?
For instance, in order to attract investment to the country, these regimes are mainly characterized by granting tax exemptions on foreign assets and on foreign income, provided that an effective relocation is made to the country. For instance, the Italian special tax regime for inbounds has two main conditions. Firstly, the individual has to be considered non-resident at least in the 9 out of 10 years before the relocation. And secondly, such person has to qualify as tax resident in Italy after the relocation, which means that such person has to stay more or less 6 months in Italy, or if he stays less, has to have his habitual abode or center of vital interests in Italy. Given the fulfillment of these conditions, this individual would pay 100,000 euros per year and would benefit from from taxation regarding foreign income and foreign assets, regardless the amount of income and the quantity of assets earned outside Italy. A family member that wants to join the regime may pay an additional 25,000 euros and benefit also from the same conditions.
That's very interesting. But now I have a practical question. So, for example, I'm a Russian tax resident for 15 years, and now I'm deciding to move to Italy for the rest years. So, me and my husband, we usually receive dividends from and interest income from my investment in Russia. So, what will be the requirements for me in Italy?
In that situation, you would benefit from this special tax regime. So, you would pay 100,000 euros per year, and your husband an additional 25,000, and you would benefit from income taxation exemptions on your dividends and interest, and your foreign assets would not need to be disclosed to the Italian tax authorities. However, it is recommendable that before the relocation, all implications are analyzed, because this regime is not applicable to every type of income, and the Italian law also foresees certain anti-abuse rules that must be considered also.
Okay, so basically this regime is applicable to all European nations. But what about third country nationals? And what about Italian nationals who don't live in Italy and live abroad, for example?
This regime is applicable to all Italian citizens and foreign nationals, regardless their nationality. In other words, this is a matter of tax residency, which means that the most important issue at stake is the effective relocation to Italy. However, it is important to note that third country nationals need to comply with all the immigration rules and procedures before relocating. Regarding this immigration regime, the Italian law foresees a special tax immigration regime for investors that are willing to perform certain investment activities in Italy. For instance, if a person wants to invest 1 million euros in an Italian company or 500,000 in an Italian startup, he may be entitled to a visa that allows him to live and work in Italy and to circulate freely in the Schengen area.
But what about Portugal and Malta? They have the same regimes, or there are any differences about it?
The taxation regime in Portugal and in Malta are very similar to Italy's because they share the similar purpose. However, the Maltese and the Portuguese regimes do not require a forfeit to be paid to the tax authorities, which means that zero tax situations. Additionally, for immigration purposes, the Portuguese and Maltese regimes foresee the possibility to buy local property, which is not an option in Italy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Today with us was Miguel Rocha, the tax advisor of the Fid-Elite company, and me, Sofia Bisbogina, the journalist of the Expat magazine, with the support of Dukascopy TV. See you soon again.